Hi everybody, it's Danielle with Inspire Me to DIY, and I haven't gone live in a long time. We got a new puppy last July, end of June. I think it was like the last part of June. And I've not been able to go live since, and it's January because, yeah, you know puppies, right? They all want to bark and yell and jump around and play, especially when I'm in the middle of something. So Daddy's taking care of baby right now, so I can finally go live and see y'all. It looks really dark in here, and I'm not sure why, because I have every light on in the house. It is dark and raining outside, which is so not normal for Florida, but there is some polar vortex coming through, so all y'all up north is going to get it a lot worse than we do. I keep adjusting my paper because it's just not right. So today I want to take these regular ordinary shoes, and I put all the links on in the comments. Now I got mine at Hobby Lobby for $6.99, but it wouldn't let me put that link in. So I used a link from Amazon, and that's like $24. Don't pay $24 for $6.99 shoes. We are going to Mod Podge these today with some beautiful napkins. And yes, I did post them. See if I can get it without the shine. I did post them in the links from Amazon and my dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Hold on. Now I have this question out to a few of my friends who Mod Podge a lot. I am on a Mod Podge site, and I have a really good friend that does a lot of Mod Podge work. For some reason, I don't know if it's this formula or what it is, but it took my pretty white shoes and it turned them yellow. In this case, the yellow background is kind of cool. And let me show you why. See my pretty flowers with the yellow background and then the white trim right there? So I'm not quite sure why it turned in yellow. I want to make a pair of blue and white ones, but I don't want those turning yellow. So if you have an answer to my question, please put it in the comments. I don't know why it's turning yellow. And it could be that it's because it's the dishwasher safe and it might not be meant for fabrics, but it's also a sealer, and that's why I got it, because I don't want to walk through rain puddles and ruin my shoes that I work so hard on. So what you're going to need to do, if you have not Mod Podged before, and I'm going to move this coffee because the paper is off the table and it's bugging me. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with pulling out one of my napkins. Now these are 3-ply napkins, and if you've seen my videos before when I decoupaged, I am horrible at pulling off the back. I mean, every once in a while I hit a lick and I get it to go just fine. But usually when I'm on camera, that's not a thing. And I can see none of these corners are loose. So let me show you my technique. I take Scotch tape. I know people have so many different techniques for this, but this works for me. And I take 2 pieces. Now what I want to do is I want to put it as close to the edge as possible because I don't want to ruin a lot of my paper. But I'm going to put one that way, sticky side down. Let me turn this one around. And then this one going this way on the back. So can you see that? One that way and one that way. And then I can pull it apart. Now, a lot of times this happens. This is a 3-ply and only 1 ply came off the back. So I need to do it again for the next layer. Sometimes I get really lucky and the whole thing comes apart all at once, but not this time. All right, let's pull this one apart. Come on, you can do it. All right. Now this napkin has not a watermark, but it's got the name of the company in the corner, and that's why I put my tape. Uh-oh, the whole thing's not ripping off. That's why I put my tape in that corner, because I want to get rid of that little logo anyways. Now I keep these only when I'm doing the project. This is to wipe my brush with, so I don't have to get paper towels, but I got them just in case. All right, so my tape is right there. I'm going to try to pull it off. And if you can see the little logo, this is Michelle, M-I-C-H-E, only one L, E-L-E. And that's their little logo. It's got a little elephant on it, but I don't want that on my shoes. So I'm going to make sure I don't use that particular, oh, for heaven's sakes, let go. Can't get the tape to let go. I don't want to use that particular logo on my shoe. Now, I have already cut apart some of my little design. You can see a lot of it is, the design's already cut off. And I might use that part on the edge of my shoe so it looks like it's supposed to be that way. But I don't want to use that in the middle where it's already cut off. It doesn't look right. But in the center, they have the full designs. So like right there, and I can even cut around some of these flowers. And if you look really close, I think they're fairies. Right here, the little blue, either that or some kind of really light butterfly. But I like to put them throughout as well. See, there's one there on my shoe and one over on this side. I don't think I put any more. I did not. So you got to be really strategic when you are placing these on your shoes. I'm going to put this off to the side for now because I have some that are already cut. And I don't know if it's enough for this one shoe. And the cat was playing with these earlier, so there might be other pieces around on the floor. We'll have to see. See, like this one right here, I cut. That is so cute. Little peony. Peonies have really gotten more popular, and I'm glad because they are beautiful. And the small town that my husband is from, they have a peony festival every year. So if you're from Van Wert, Ohio, these shoes would be amazing during your festival. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I shake up my Mod Podge really good. I am not pouring this out onto a paper plate or a glass or anything. I'm just going to take it right from the jar. I do have my glass of water just in case I need to clean off my brush because sometimes it gets just a little goopy. Okay. Now, I like to use a flat brush for this. These are all my brushes. These are the brushes that I don't use paint on anymore unless it's to put paint on, not for fine detail or anything. These are my old oil brushes, and they have seen better days. So now see if I can see it against my shirt. Now I am using them for glue and whatnot because if they get ruined, I'm not too distressed about it. I do have various stages of brushes. I have these as like my absolute, I don't care what happens to them. And then they work up from there all the way to my very good brushes that I only use for certain things. I woke up this morning and it was raining like crazy and it has not stopped, which is kind of good because it's been really dry here, but I don't know. I'm just not used to gray days in Florida. Okay, this is one of those designs that has the flower cut off. So I am just going to put that along the edge, and I want to kind of see what that's going to look like. I think that's going to be really good. I put it along the edge. I think that's going to look really pretty. Now this part here I'll have to take off, but we'll work as we go along. Now I like to put Mod Podge on my shoe first and get it really saturated. Hopefully that's not why it turned yellow. I should have really researched that before I did anything, but like I said, with these flowers, a yellow background looks really pretty. Now, if you want, you can go over, let me see if I can get up there. You can go over your stitching here and just put your design all the way over that. I chose not to. I should if I can talk. See, I like the I like that look better than having it all over the shoe. Now, by all means, do what you want, but then you got to be really careful on where you put your glue. Now, if it gets down here on the rubber part, that's okay. You can take a fine sanding block and that'll come right off. All right, make sure I get it everywhere I want it. And if you look at your shoe in the light, so there's a glare, you can look to see where you're missing, where you haven't put Mod Podge on. Okay. See if I can get this on just right. Okay. It's not going to be able, the edge is not going to be able to go all the way up and around because the shoe curves and the napkin does not. So let me see if I can work around that. See what I mean there? It goes off the edge, but I'm sure we can make it look like that's how it's supposed to be. Be very careful when you're putting your glue over the top. Make sure your brush strokes are not really hard because you'll tear your paper. I've done that so many times. Okay. So we're in the middle of football playoff season. So football's been on a lot around here. My favorite teams are kind of out of the running, so I don't really care anymore if that's a thing. You know, it's Super Bowl's not going to be that big a thing for me because my teams didn't make it. But my husband really loves watching the playoffs, and so that's what we're going to be doing for most of today. But it's okay because it's one of those gray, rainy days that I can just curl up with a book and totally ignore the television. I'm not much of a television watcher anyways. I am cutting some of the white off around my flower because the way I'm going to put it on my shoe, it won't look right with the extra pieces. I'm going to place it just so on there. I'll show you here. But I'm being so careful not to go up to that border on my shoe, the stitching. Now what you can do while it's still wet, if you have a really, really sharp knife or razor blade, you can score along that bottom and cut it right off. I'm going to wait till it dries to do that because then my paper won't tear so easily. Because if your blade is not super, super sharp, it's gonna rip it. So there's that flower along the edge. That's why I cut the paper off along the edge there so it wouldn't hit my stitching. I'm really loving how this is turning out. And it looks great. It looks white. It looks beautiful. It must be something with when it dries because it's yellow. So I'm kind of glad I did it with this pattern first. If I would have done it with my blue and white, oh, that's a different one. I had a blue and white flower pot behind me that I had decoupaged. Look at this one though. Isn't that beautiful? I love that napkin, and I overlapped it quite a bit, and I did a gold rim around the saucer and the flower pot, and I have my beach glass in there. I thought that would be a really pretty way to display my beach glass. Don't have a lot of indoor plants because of my pets, especially the cat who likes to chew everything, and I'd rather just not have the plant than be all upset because she chose to chew on that one. All right, so let me do the back of this side of my shoe. I love how this is turning out already. So getting back to my dog, she's a sweetheart. I have I've been running out of patience. So it's me that has to work on that. But she is starting daycare. I can't wait. On Wednesday. And it's just like putting your child in daycare. They only have Wednesdays available. All the rest of the days are filled. So we were able to schedule her on Wednesdays, but she'll get a school picture. They have doggy of the week, all the stuff like when your child is in daycare. They even have, you fill out the whole questionnaire about, has your dog been microchipped, which she has, and all the things. But, you have your emergency card and who's allowed to pick up your dog. And it just makes me smile because it's so much like preschool. It just makes me laugh. I'm going to take another one of my flat edges and I'm going to go around this part of my shoe. And just lightly press it on there till I get it how I want. Now, if at this stage, if it's not exactly how you want, you can still lift it up and reposition. I don't know if you could see that. I lifted it up and then I can reposition it back down. Once it gets to a certain part that it is adhered pretty good, then you can't reposition it anymore. I got to be really careful not to pull up the pieces that I've already put down. Now, some people don't care if it's wrinkled. My daughter's one of those. She doesn't care if it's wrinkled or the design's overlapped or anything. She likes it that way. I am crazy perfectionist and have to have it just so. And it's funny that we're from the same family. Okay, and I'm going right up to that edge there. I'm not putting glue past that because I don't want it to adhere to my stitching. And that's just my preference. Now, your paper will buckle. Once you get it on there, it will wrinkle and buckle, but if you leave it alone and don't try to fix it, once it dries, it'll straighten itself back out. I don't know how it does that, but it does that. So it's just all in the patience part of it. There we go. These are going to be beautiful and just the perfect shoe for spring. I'm kind of past the high heel shoe. I mean, they're beautiful, and I have some that are like a kitten heel, I guess you'd call it, but the high heel anymore, I no. So if you dress up for Easter and you're not the high heel kind of wearing girl, this shoe might be okay. Now, it depends on if I'm wearing my blue and white seersucker pants. I love those, and I've got the jacket that goes with it. These shoes would be really cute with that. And that might be my Easter outfit because it's nice and comfortable. All right, I cut a little flower here, but I've got to make sure that it fits that it fits just right. Oh, I think it's going to be great. Okay, let me get. So doing the back part of the shoe here is probably the hardest part because it's not such a big area like the toe of the shoe. So it might be good to start with that so you get the hard part out of the way. It's funny, I'm kind of like that. If I have a bunch of, say, vegetables on my plate and I like them all, but there's a couple I really, I'll eat those first just to get them out of the way. Isn't that silly? Potato chips, I'll eat all the broken ones first just to get them out of the way so I can enjoy the unbroken ones. I'm sure that's probably a sign of mental illness somewhere. But I do that in my craft stuff too. I want to get the hard stuff out of the way first so then I can really enjoy the ending and feel like I'm a success in some realm or another. Okay, so this part here, I do have some flat edges where that was the edge of my napkin, and I might want to do that around the edge of my shoe, but napkin straight, shoes curved, so you gotta fix it in such a way that it's not gonna have a big old wrinkle in it. So we'll see. If I cut around here, I'm going to, hold on. I took this little rosebud and the little, I don't know what that is, if that's a fairy or what that is, and I cut that off so it will go up there closer, and then I can add those later. Maybe add the one back in. So it's kind of hard to do this and show you at the same time. Let me get my glue on first. And the reason I put all my glue on and then the thing over the top is it's just easier to try to position. If I try to put my dry napkin on and then try to put glue over the top, it's going to move all over the place. And this way, it doesn't. Some of the glue. I have no idea how long it paused, but my friend came on and told me that she has not used Mod Podge in this way before. She was the one I went on and asked her if she knew why it yellowed. So she came on, and for some reason it paused my video. So there's so many new things with Facebook. I have no idea what is going on, and all the things. You used to be able to put a filter on so your face looked better, and I can't do that. So you get to see me how I normally look, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Okay, so let's add this one. See if I can get that on there right. And around the stitching. This one might be one of the harder ones to put on. But I'm doing it in a way that hopefully there's no wrinkling. It's hard when you're putting a flat thing on a curved surface. There we go. And I'll be able to cut around that stitching because there's no glue on it. So we are, I know I started to tell you about doggy daycare. We are very excited to each have both of us work from home, so we can each have a day where we can actually get a bunch of work done. She's a sweetheart, don't get me wrong. It's just we're in the, I don't even think we're in the terrible twos because she is acting like she is a teenager already. Yeah. So it kind of reminds me of those years when I had teenagers at home. Dear Lord. Okay, I am going to put this one around, but I want to cut this flower off. Hey Sherry, how's it going? Hey Crystal. My comments just popped up, so unless they popped up and I did not see them before. Sorry about that. How you guys doing? Is it like beyond cold there? Because I've been getting reports from some of my friends up north that they're really getting the cold. And I'm glad we're not getting the cold, but we are getting the rain. Right now it's 70 some degrees, but it's supposed to, the rest of the week, the high is only supposed to be in the 50s, which is cold for Florida. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. My mom used to say you have to hold your mouth just right, which I'm not sure. We have a lot of sirens going off. I don't know if you can hear that, but you know, people want to drive crazy in the rain. Alrighty, so this is looking really good. Some of my edges are wanting to pop up, so I need to make sure that I have them glued down pretty good. I'm going to go over the whole thing with Mod Podge once this all dries to just seal it good. But yeah, I see it's not as yellow yet, but it's starting to yellow. Oh, that stinks. But like I say, I'm glad I did that now. All right, I'm going to get that out of the way. I got one little flower here. I think I'll keep it until I get everything done because it might go in someplace. So this is what I've got so far. I'll make sure I touch it. Isn't that pretty? I want to make sure I touch it in places that doesn't have the stuff on. And it would look really cute as well if you just did like a line of flowers that come up and around and leave the rest of the shoe. That would be really cute as well. Okay, I'm going to put my glue up and around. It is really coming down. We don't get very many days where it's gray like this. It's usually, you know, even when it's raining, the sun is shining, but not today. So I know that when we have days like this, that my friend up in the northernmost states, they're getting it. They're getting hit hard. So I cannot complain at all. Although I still do. Oh, there we go. You should see my table. I have velvet bookmarks that I'm making over on this side. I got all the pieces for that. Over here, I've got some, oh no, actually it's over here. I've got some white clay and my fancy rolling pen. I roll over my clay and then I'm cutting them into heart shapes and putting a little hole at the top, and then I'm putting velvet ribbon on those just to give to friends. You can hang them up on things. They're not really for anything in particular, but I think they're pretty. And red clay or pink clay would look really good with that too. I don't use the air dry. I use the kind you bake. I just like the feel of it better. Air dry has more of that chalky feel, and whoa, I don't like that feel on my fingers. You know, silly, but I like the air dry where it's got a real smooth finish to it. Okay, let's see. I need to cut a design. Good thing I took the backing off of these, so I had them ready because I didn't know if I had enough for the shoe or not. I'm going to cut out a whole design. I am really getting into the spring vibe. I know it's only January, but you know, when it's yucky, you want it to be warmer, or you want it to be nicer. And spring is just a nice time. So that's, I'm really, get this just how I want it. I'm really going the spring vibe and the Valentine vibe. Do you see my shirt? This is one of the new shirts that is on Inspire Me Fabulous. We have quite a nice line that's out now for Valentine's Day. And wait till you see what's coming out for spring and Easter. It is gorgeous. I can't wait to roll that out, and we will probably do that middle of February. But some really cute Victorian stuff like these flowers, and there's bunnies and some Christian Easter art, some really nice things. But right now we have some really cool Valentine t-shirts that I am just loving. I bought them all. Valentine and lake stuff. I have a lot of friends. I come from the Lake Erie area. So I have a lot of friends that live there that are really into the lakes, the lake wearables. So I have Lake Life, Lakeaholic, Lake Bum. So those are some really cute t-shirts. I also have a couple of sweatshirts, and let me tell you, these sweatshirts, the quality is amazing. They're super heavy and they're very, very fuzzy inside, so they feel amazing. And I'm gonna put my little flower over here, and I just love those sweatshirts. I have a couple. We don't get to wear them very often here, but later this afternoon when the temperature drops, I'll be wearing one of those sweatshirts. I just love them. I think we're going out for dinner, so it'll be nice to be all cozy in my shirt. There's not really, well, there are some lakes around here, but not like the Great Lakes or anything like that. So I might get a couple of people ask me about my shirt. I love it when they do, because then I can say, oh, I got this from Inspire Me. Fabulous. And it's kind of fun. What do I want to do here? I just have this area right here. So I'm looking for something that'll fit right into there. I'm not really seeing it. I don't have much of this peach in there, so I'm going to put some of that in there. We'll see if I cut it enough to fit. There's a couple of peach flowers along the edge. They're not really in the center, so they don't get used a lot. Okay, so I'll put that there, and I'm going to cut this one flower out because it's right up in the middle of another flower. And when you do this and overlap them, you'll see both flowers and it'll look jumbled. So that's why I don't try to overlap them as much as possible. I think this turned out good. Now the edge of your napkin has like a waffle embossing. I think that's what holds all three of the plies together. And I was afraid to use those, but when you Mod Podge over it, they just smooth right out and there's no problem with it. Did you hear something? I think it's my cat. Hold on. Are you locked in? Oh, I'm sorry. She was locked in her bedroom. Oops. Sorry, Joe. She was loud. Okay. Now, I'm going to leave this dry. I'm not going to mess with it at all. I have a tendency to want to replace or put stuff in other places, but I'm just going to leave this go. There was a piece that's up. And let it dry completely, and then I'll go over it again. But before I go over it again, I'll cut off all these little edges here. But that just turned out so pretty. I have a very large foot, so you can tell. But I think these are gorgeous. Ooh, it's raining. Look at that one. So I like that they don't match perfectly. And that lets me know that they were handmade. These are just going to be gorgeous. So I'm going to put my brush in my water. And what I like to do, since I have this left over, is I try to fold it up how it was to begin with. I'm going to put this little rose on the inside. And then I will tuck that back into this package so I know I can use those again. I don't have any bookmarks to show you because I gave them all away. But I'm about to make some this afternoon and I will take pictures and show you. Hopefully they turn out really good. I got this pink velvet that I'm going to try, and I've got little pearl, I don't know if you can see those, little pearl drops, and Hobby Lobby sells these. This one was $6.49, but it was 50% off. So $3.25, but it has all of these, and it is a bracelet, so you could wear this, but it has all these beautiful jewels that I'm going to take apart and put a pearl drop at the bottom of each one of these, and then attach them to one end of my, my velvet. Your niece's dog loves going to doggy daycare. You know, I'm really hoping that this is a positive thing for Sadie, because she needs to be socialized with other dogs. We're going to start puppy training in February. And I don't want it to be a new thing for her that she doesn't, has not been around other dogs, and, you know, she'll be so distracted. And she just loves playing, and she loves people, and she, you know, she's not malicious at all, but she is annoying. So I can see her being annoying around another dog, and the other dog putting her in her place, and that's what she needs. So she needs to learn how to be good in social circumstances. So I'm hoping that this doggy daycare will help a lot. I'm looking at my cat. She's being silly. So I'm hoping that it'll help a lot, and training will be a lot easier than I'm envisioning that it might be. Oh, so I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, it's wet here. So it's exciting to go live again, and I hope to do it again really soon. Again, I am Danielle from Inspire Me to DIY. If you're not following and you see that it's live up there, go ahead and hit, you know that you've got me live, and that you've come across my page. If that little red live is not up there, go ahead and follow this video, and you will see more of my stuff. I am on Pinterest, Inspire Me to DIY, the number 2, Inspire Me to DIY. On Pinterest, and Inspire Me Fabulous is on Pinterest with all of the t-shirts that we sell. I do not think the new line is up and running on that yet. I'll have to check. But if not, that might be something I work on this weekend as well. But I'm also on, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, and I know there's another one. Facebook is YouTube. Gee whiz. So hopefully you find me in all the places. I also have a community group where we share our crafts with each other and questions, and I might put that Mod Podge question in there. We'll see if anybody knows the answer to that. So have a great Sunday, and I hope your weather holds out. Talk to you later. Bye.